The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. More celebrities and former government officials formalized their election bids on the last day of COC filing. To tell us more, we have Greg Gregorio reporting live from Pasay City. Greg, good afternoon. Could you tell us who these familiar personalities are who filed their COCs today?
Good afternoon, Charles. During the last day of COC filing, more showbiz personalities came in as nominees for various party lists. Early this morning, superstar Nora Honor has filed certificate of nomination and acceptance as first nominee for Nora A Party List, or the National Organization for Responsive Advocacies for the Arts. Though Nora Honor appeared on behalf of the party list, the movie icon opted not to speak in front of the media. Earlier today, Anak Maharalikang Filipino also filed their CONA with actors Tom Rodriguez and Billy James Renasha as their first and second nominees. Though Rodriguez wasn't present, Renasha explained that they are pushing for the fair wage of construction workers to ensure education for their children and medical access for their families. Carla Estrada, meanwhile, is the third nominee of Tingog Party List. Charles, just a few minutes earlier, former presidential spokesperson and DFA Undersecretary Ernesto Abella filed his certificate of candidacy for presidency. And as of 12 noon, COMELEC received 17 more presidential aspirants, and additional 25 have filed their COC for senator, and 26 more party lists filed their CONA. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Pasay City. A prosecutor of the International Criminal Court vows to uncover the truth as they investigate President Duterte's war on drugs. In a statement, ICC prosecutor Karim Khan confirms that he has authorized his office to conduct a probe into the bloody drug war in the country. Khan accepts that there is indeed reasonable basis to believe that the crime against humanity of murder was committed in carrying out the anti-drug initiative. And he also reiterated that although the Philippines has withdrawn from the Rome Statute, the court retains jurisdiction to crimes committed during the time that the country was still a state party. Khan says his investigation aims to ensure accountability of these crimes, noting reports of torture and inhumane acts. And he also vows that his office will ensure a successful, independent, and impartial investigation to bring justice to the victims and communities affected. The World Health Organization reiterates its call for rich countries to share their supplies of their COVID-19 vaccines. This as it fears that the global vaccine effort is now on the precipice of failure due to the inequality in the distribution of shots. Let's hear more from Bloomberg Quick Take.
Now we stand on the precipice of failure if we don't make the benefits of science available to all people in all countries right now. More than 6.4 billion vaccine doses have now been administered globally, and almost one-third of the world's population is fully vaccinated against COVID-19. But those numbers mask a horrifying inequity. Today, WHO is launching the strategy to achieve global COVID-19 vaccination by mid-2022. The strategy outlines the road we must all take together to achieve our targets of vaccinating 40% of the population of every country by the end of this year and 70% by the middle of next year. Achieving these targets will require at least 11 billion vaccine doses. This is not a supply problem. It is an allocation problem. We call on all countries to update their national COVID-19 vaccine targets and plans to guide manufacturing investment and vaccine distribution. We call on countries with high vaccine coverage to swap delivery schedules with COVAX and AVAT and to fulfill their dose-sharing pledges immediately. We call on vaccine-producing countries to allow free cross-border flow of finished vaccines and raw materials, and to enable sharing of know-how, technology, and licenses. We call on vaccine manufacturers to prioritize and fulfill contracts with COVAX and AVAT as a matter of urgency.
Almost 64,900 people have experienced adverse reactions following immunization as of September 26. That's roughly 0.15% of the total 44 million doses administered, according to the FDA. To tell us more about this, we have Jen Calimon joining us over the line. Good afternoon, Jen. Jen, can you hear us?
Yes, Charles, I can hear you.
Right, so Jen, could you tell us how many of those who experienced adverse effects to the vaccine had mild reactions as opposed to severe ones?
Yes, Charles, based on the monthly report of the Food and Drug Administration, 62,294 out of 64,891 adverse events following immunization only experienced mild adverse effects such as headache, nausea, and body pains, while 2,597 out of this number had to be hospitalized. But compared to the 44 million total doses administered, only 0.15% are suspected adverse reaction report, while only 0.006% of the total doses administered are severe. Charles?
Right, how many people, Jen, have reportedly had breakthrough COVID-19 infections despite being fully or partially vaccinated?
For breakthrough
Right, we're going to try to circle back to Jen in a bit. Meanwhile, let's take a quick look at some of today's headlines. The tandem of Vice President Leni Robredo and Senator Kiko Pangilinan for next year's polls is now official, after Pangilinan filed his COC for Vice President earlier today. The trough of Tropical Depression Maring may continue to bring light to heavy rain over eastern Visayas. And after 11 years of construction, the Bicol International Airport is now ready to begin operations. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.